This is my brand new Porsche Taycan, and I'm going to show you how your dream car is closer than you think. Hi, I'm Kevin McDonald. I'm a property investor and I've just acquired this Porsche Taycan. In this video, I'm going to be revealing how anybody can get a really nice car, or maybe even your dream car, for very little more than you're paying to run a car right now. Before I get into the detail of why I've purchased this car and how, let me take you for a test drive. Before we get on with this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. I was looking at getting an electric car so I could run it through. It's very low, this car. I almost hit the bottom there with the beeping. There's a lot of hybrid cars out there, but for fully electric, the only real choices are Tesla or the Porsche Taycan. No offense to any Tesla drivers, it looks like a Ford.
How dare you!
Two favorite things about the car. Number one is it's 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. So you literally just touch the accelerator and you're doing 60. You can't go near the accelerator. There's a launch mode, and I've been told don't press it unless you're in a very straight road with no cops. Not that I do that, police, if you're watching, or on a racetrack. Number two is I love the gold wheels. Some people might love them, some people might hate them. I think it matches the interior of the car and it makes it really pop when you're driving on the road. So a lot of people talk about the silence of an electric car. One of the great things about this is it's actually got a sport sound, so you can turn the sound on if you wish. Even now there's no sound on, but you've still got the road noise. So I really like the fact that it's silent, but also you can turn the sound on if you wish to turn the sound on. One of the things I really love for this, hopefully my wife doesn't watch, but it's got park assist. So that's for her, not for me. Well, when I went to the Porsche garage to look at cars, I actually asked them about the different types of car, like the 911 or the Taycan, and every one of them said that this is the best Porsche car in the market, and not just the best Porsche car in the market, but probably the best car in the market right now. Just the speed, the comfort, the look, everything is, I would consider, for me, just perfect. Who says there's no noise in an electric car? So let's head to my office and I'll give you a breakdown of how I secured the car and how you're much closer to your dream car than you might think. Okay, so there's three main ways that you can run a car. You can buy it, you can finance it, or you can lease it. So whether you're looking to buy it, finance it, or lease it, how do you structure that purchase? So do you do it through your own name? Do you run it through a limited company? Or do you run it through a limited liability partnership? Each one's different. There's benefits and downsides to each. So let's look at each one individually. Number one, you buy it in cash. What's the pros of buying a car in cash? Well, it's obvious. You own the car. You don't have to worry about any monthly repayments. But what's the downside? Is it depreciates in value, meaning you lose money. You are responsible for maintenance of that car. If something goes wrong, it can cost you a significant amount of money. And because it's in your own name, that is after tax money. So it's money you've already paid tax on, then you're running that car. That is money that you could have leveraged into an asset that made you more money. Number two is you could finance the car. Pretty much the same pros and cons as you have with buying the car for cash. The big difference is when you're financing the car, you can get a much better car. The downside is you've got to pay monthly for that depreciating asset. And finally, number three is leasing. Leasing is where you can secure a brand new car and pay a monthly lease amount on the car and give it back at the end of a period of time. The upside of this is every 2, every 3 years, even every year if you like, you can sit in a brand new car. The downside is you don't own the car. But is that even a downside? Because if you did own it, you'd own a depreciating vehicle. I've done all three of these. I've owned cars where I've bought them for cash. I've owned cars that I bought on finance. And my most recent car, a BMW 5 Series M Sport, I had that on lease. I've recently given it back. My BMW, I leased it, but I leased it through my personal name. Now I've got a property company. Maybe you're watching and you've got a limited company, or maybe you work for somebody who in their company, they provide company cars to you. If you drive a company car, whether it's one provided by another company or provided by your own company, there is a thing called benefit in kind. Now, benefit in kind, in simple terms, is a tax. You pay tax on that car. Now, if I was to run my BMW through my limited company, there would be a big benefit in kind tax liability to me personally. So what I've done is I run it through my personal name. I can then claim the mileage on that car. So every mile I do in the car for my job within my company, going to do viewings on properties, looking at a new house, meeting a tenant, whatever it may be, I can claim back up to 45p per mile for the first 10,000 miles that I drive, and then a lower amount per mile for the remaining miles that I do for an unlimited number of miles every single year. So you can claim quite a lot of the running costs of that car back just through mileage. So I know a lot of this might come across quite complicated to some of you. Maybe it's new to you. Just bear with me. I know a lot of this is complex, but it's going to make sense. If you run a car through a company, you get hit with benefit in kind. If you run it through your personal name, there's no benefit in kind, but you're running it on money you've earned after tax. However, you can claim back the mileage. There is a third way though. You can run the car through what's called an LLP, a limited liability partnership. Now, in a limited company, you pay corporation tax. In a limited liability partnership, you pay your personal rate of tax. So let's say it's me and you're a 20% taxpayer and I'm a 40% taxpayer, and we work in partnership together and set up an LLP. You will pay tax on the profits in that LLP at 20%, and I'll pay tax on my profits at 40%. We pay our own rate of tax. Here's the benefit for a car though in an LLP. You can run a car through a limited liability partnership and there is no benefit in kind. You can offset a significant portion of the cost of that car, but not all the cost. You can run a car through a limited company and offset pretty much everything. The entire costs of the car written off if you go electric. The government have already announced that by 2030 they won't be allowing any more manufacturing of diesel and electric cars. There'll still be diesel and electric cars on the roads, but they're going to be older cars, and as they die out, electric cars will come through. There's huge incentives though right now for electric vehicles. Because of all these tax benefits, because of the fact that I can run a car with writing off the entire cost through my company, I've decided to go electric, and I've recently secured a Porsche Taycan. So the Porsche Taycan is a fully electric car. Now what that means is by securing it through my limited company, there is zero benefit in kind. I can offset the entire cost of the car. As well as that, I could offset the cost of having a home electric charging system installed at my home address. I can have another one installed at my work address. There's government incentives right now that not just allow you to offset the entire cost of your car, but also allow you to set up charging points for your car. So a lot of you are probably watching this thinking, this is great, but I need a business and I don't currently have a business, so this won't benefit me. Many of you do have a business and you don't realize. Property is a business. Maybe you own a single let buy to let. Maybe you own a few. That's a business. You already have a business, but you're just not running it as a business. Maybe you're looking to get into property. Maybe you should start looking at getting into property. Just one single let buy to let, just one house of multiple occupation, just one property of any type of strategy, and you are in business. I spent 14 years working in a job building somebody else's dream, and I lived on after-tax money. I got my wages after the tax was taken out, and then I ran my cars, I ate, I did everything I needed to do. In a business, I can run my car now on pre-tax tax money, meaning I've got more money available to do the things I want to do. If you are not in business, you need to be thinking about getting into business. And one of the best businesses to be getting into right now is property. Property has completely changed my life, and property is the best business to be in if you haven't started already. The great thing about property is you own an asset that is going up in value. You are getting a rental income coming in every single month that you can live off. Property is a business, but it's not like any other business. You do not have the same overheads, you do not have the same liabilities. You just have an asset that is going up in value. If you're a little confused about property investing, maybe you're not sure where to start, don't worry about it. There's lots of videos on this channel that can help you get started. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get more videos just like this.